Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the most dramatic interview exits by angry celebrities.
You sure you want to do this?
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 20, Ye.
I care about me, I care about my people, so it's for me to stand up. And God forbid I step on someone's toes while I'm at it.
In 2022, Piers Morgan held a 2-hour interview with rapper Kanye West for his YouTube channel, Piers Morgan Uncensored. Supposedly, no topic was off limits, from Ye's divorce to his controversial comments concerning the death of George Floyd. Claims were made, insults were thrown, and Morgan was branded a Karen.
George's
but why would any of that? Okay, but why would any of that? Why would any of that?
Bro, I ain't finished. I ain't finished my sentence.
Nothing you're saying has anything to do with.
When called on to apologize for an offensive tweet aimed at the Jewish community, Kanye lost his cool after Morgan interrupted his answer mid-flow. Ye then terminated the interview, leaving Morgan staring at an empty chair. The rapper returned later, but it all got a bit heated for a moment there.
Interview adjourned. Love you.
Okay, that's the end of the interview.
Number 19, Brian May.
Yeah, I would not be doing this out of choice. I just don't want to disappoint you guys.
Queen's lead guitarist is generally thought of as one of rock's nice guys, but everyone has their bad days, and the Dutch current affairs program Twee Vandaag captured this one. May was in Rotterdam and consented to a short interview before his show, despite being tired and clearly not feeling it. He quickly became frustrated with the questions, especially when the interviewer asked about the operatic parts in Bohemian Rhapsody and whether the band should perform it live.
Listen, do you want to do an interview about the show or what we're doing? Because this is really wasting time.
Okay.
You know, I'm sorry to be difficult, but...
This led into an attempt to show May clips of students from the Pop Academy trying their hand at the parts. At this point, May shut the whole thing down.
I'll see you. Sorry.
We'll let you decide whether he was justified. Number 18, 50 Cent. 50 Cent sat down for an interview with American media platform Complex in 2020, ready and willing to talk about his role as executive producer on the ABC drama For Life. However, he was not expecting to fend off serious accusations about assault. 50 Cent had been embroiled in a feud with Moroccan-American rapper French Montana that had recently hit new heights.
What's up with French? Are you guys cool?
When the interviewer brought it up, and very casually too, 50 was not impressed.
Would I do a thing like that?
I don't know, I wouldn't put it past you.
Why would you think that way?
He called out the line of questioning and immediately started removing his microphone. Cue uncomfortable laughter from the interviewer and awkwardness all around.
This guy right here would assault French Montana.
Number 17, Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar.
So many questions. I know you have.
Yeah, so okay.
Look at you. Look, every time I come on here, she's... How did this happen?
Inviting the controversial political commentator Bill O'Reilly onto The View may seem like an obvious mistake, given his strong views and tendency to provoke. That is, unless the end goal was to create a bit of drama.
Yes, and then the guy says...
America.
And then the
This is America.
Hold it. Listen to me, because you'll learn.
In a discussion about whether or not it was appropriate for a mosque to be built nearby New York's Ground Zero site, O'Reilly spouted generalizations and refused to acknowledge the difference between ordinary practicing Muslims and religious extremists.
Do this on 9/11.
No. Oh my God. That is...
Debate descended into something resembling a drunken family argument, and Whoopi and Joy decided to remove themselves from the situation. Number 16, Russell Crowe. Before the dubious singing in Les Miserables came a dubious accent in the 2010 film Robin Hood. In a BBC radio segment, New Zealand-born Russell Crowe was questioned about his role in the new retelling of the classic English legend. It all seemed to be going along swimmingly until the presenter dared to suggest that Crowe's Robin Hood had a little bit of an Irish brogue.
The location of him, the accent you've given him, there are hints to me of Irish, but what were you thinking of in those terms?
You've got dead ears, mate. You seriously got dead ears if you think that's an Irish accent.
Crowe shut down the suggestion immediately, and more than that, he was angry about it.
I'm a little dumbfounded that you could possibly find any Irish in that character. That's kind of ridiculous, but it is.
Why he took it so personally, we're not sure. After all, who really knows what medieval Englishmen sounded like?
Thank you.
I don't get the Irish thing, bro. I don't get it at all.
Number 15, Public Image Limited.
Don't tell me I sold out, pal.
I didn't tell you.
I walked out.
That guy.
It was the only honest band in 2,000 million years.
In the late 70s, after the breakup of the Sex Pistols, John Lydon joined forces with singer and guitarist Jah Wobble to form the band Public Image Limited. They were famously interviewed on the short-lived series Check It Out, and being stereotypical punks, they soon made a dramatic exit.
I don't have to explain myself to anybody, and I ain't gonna really bother. Now, I was asked here, right, to interview with the band here, Pill, but now, like, we're facing a cheapskate comedy interrogation act, and it just ain't on, pal. It's a joke.
After only setting out chairs for Lydon and Wobble, so the rest of the band had to perch uncomfortably behind, the show continued to antagonize their guests with footage of another band slagging them off. Of course, it worked.
Well, that's up to you entirely. Do you all follow the leader?
Lydon went first and Wobble followed, offended after the host wondered aloud if they would all follow the leader. Number 14, Rita Ora. There is more than one way to angrily leave an interview, and not every celebrity needs to rant and rave to show their displeasure. Sometimes it's all in the eyes.
It's my love of pop mixed with my love of soul and people that I've loved working with growing up, so it's a great surprise.
When can we expect that music?
The music comes out next year, January.
Rita Ora shows us how it's done in a quieter fashion in this interview from 2014. The singer was asked about her ex, Calvin Harris, with whom she was then in an ongoing dispute. Harris had blocked her from performing I Will Never Let You Down at the Teen Choice Awards. It was one of her big hits, but Harris had written and produced it.
There's been a lot of rumors that between Calvin Harris and not releasing some of your stuff.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
He was holding the song ransom for what he called a damn good reason, although of course he didn't elaborate. Ora was polite but declined to comment.
Releasing some of your stuff.
Number 13, Joan Rivers.
Even with your fashion critiquing, while it's very mean in some ways, people can't wait to hear what you have to say. Really? It's not mean?
The late Joan Rivers was always a force to be reckoned with, and in 2014, the CNN newsroom host Frederica Whitfield found herself in the comedian's firing line.
You know, this whole interview is becoming a defensive interview.
No!
Are you wearing leather shoes?
Yeah,
shut up.
I'm talking.
Rivers was supposed to be promoting her new book, but Whitfield's questions appeared to have a negative slant. The fashion police personality took offense to the direction the interview was taking and refused to be criticized over animal rights by a meat eater in leather shoes.
No, you know, I'm going. I really am going because all you have done is negative.
The presenter laughed along, but Rivers was 100% serious. She said her piece and stormed off the set, leaving her host confused and disbelieving.
Book is funny. I wear fur that was killed 15 years ago. I work for animal rights. Stop it with, and you do this, and you're mean, and you're that. You are not the one to interview a person who does humor. Sorry.
Number 12, Kim Woodburn. Queen of Clean, Kim Woodburn entered the Celebrity Big Brother house in 2017, and although she finished in 3rd place, her experience was not a happy one. The following year, Kim made an infamous appearance on Loose Women, joining a panel which included her former housemate, Colleen Nolan.
The only way Kim gets TV is because she comes out and is controversial. You've no talent. That's the only way you get TV.
As was the case in the house, Kim was unable to keep her cool when she found herself ganged up on. The panel showed no sympathy when the then 65-year-old became visibly distressed.
You don't want to. I will never forget what the likes of her and the 7 others put me through.
Kim stormed out and was roundly booed, but the show received almost 8,000 Ofcom complaints criticizing the treatment she'd received. Number 11. R. Kelly. R&B artist and convicted sex offender R. Kelly is currently serving time in prison.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me.
Back in 2019, his crimes were just beginning to come to light when he was rattled. In an unhinged interview with Gayle King, Kelly didn't do a great job of convincing us he was innocent. As King sits patiently, Kelly throws a spectacular tantrum. He looks like he's about to walk out at any point, and although technically he doesn't, the interview does have to be paused to give him a chance to calm down. It's a segment that has to be seen to be believed.
With my kids, and I can't do it.
Number 10. S Club 7. After a few great years topping the charts, the remaining 6 members of pop giants S Club 7 decided to amicably split and go their separate ways. Part of their goodbye circuit involved appearing on Liquid News, but it didn't all go to plan when Claudia Winkleman opted to ask them a slightly sensitive question. It was rumoured that S Club 7 split because their creator, Simon Fuller, didn't pay them anywhere near as much as they earned.
There are rumours, I don't know how true they are, that you guys are grumpy because you haven't made a mint.
No,
Hannah,
that's not true.
Are you not grumpy about it
We
at all?
didn't get a mint. I would love a mint. My breath, I didn't.
Yeah,
brush
I'm a
this
bit
morning,
pungy, actually.
but
This enraged their PR representative, who stormed into the studio and ordered the band to leave. It seemed they didn't have a choice in the matter and were forced to walk off set.
I'm not having you asking that question. I tried to stop this and I've had to walk in here. Can you go? We're going.
Number 9. Jose Mourinho. Following a brutal 0-0 match against Hull City, Man United manager Mourinho was asked the probing questions typical of the post-game press conference. However, when interviewer Martin Fisher got onto the topic of the referee Michael Jones and a few calls he made in favour of Hull, the exchange turned even sourer than it already was, after Mourinho bitterly explained that the reason they lost was that they didn't score.
we didn't score. Don't score. It's not possible to win.
After saying that Jones let Hull City get away with all sorts of things, Mourinho accuses Fisher of not understanding football and walks off.
What particularly did you feel that the referee should have pulled them up on that?
Well, if you don't know football, you shouldn't be with the microphone in your hand.
Number 8. Robert Pattinson. It's all common knowledge now that Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart were dating during their time co-starring in the Twilight Saga. But the same wasn't true back in 2009. Pattinson took a break from the world premiere of New Moon to talk to Ryan Seacrest, but Seacrest goes too far and asks what Pattinson would say to fans who are dying to know whether Robston is real.
What do you say to your fans who are desperate to know about you and your co-star Kristen? What can you tell them? What can you tell them about it?
Again, PR gets involved, with his representative stepping in to convince him to leave before he puts his foot in his mouth. Pattinson is still polite and thanks the show for the gift bag he gets, but refuses to give an answer.
But I was just cut off for the first time ever.
The thing I can say to them is watch New Moon, it's amazing.
Number 7. Ian Dale. In late 2019, a boy was thrown from a balcony in London's Tate Modern and almost died. It came out that the teenage perpetrator told his carers of his intentions, but that, for whatever reason, this hadn't been acted upon.
He told sometime before the event his carer that he planned to kill, that he wanted to kill, and the carer was understandably disturbed by this.
It was during a debate on who was to blame for this tragedy and whether anybody could have done anything to prevent it, that political commentator Ian Dale decided to walk out after only a few minutes.
Doesn't look like it's getting any better.
Utter rubbish, if I may say so.
As the other guests want to talk about social care cuts, Dale brashly disagrees and won't even entertain the other side.
Okay, right, that's it.
No, we'd like you to.
Come on in. No, Ian, don't go.
We'd like
Ian.
you to speak.
Wow.
His walkout comes across as a temper tantrum more than anything else. Number 6. Gordon Ramsay.
While in the UK there are very few restrictions on what you can air on TV, especially if the show goes out after Watershed, it's a different story elsewhere in the world. And these rules even apply to Gordon Ramsay, whose love of swearing has landed him in trouble numerous times, including during this appearance on Australia's Today Show.
Throw a donkey in the mix and yeah, you're in the shit.
Have you read the papers? Sorry, Gordon, have you read the papers this morning?
Ship. I got ship out of that. Yeah.
Yep.
Sugar.
While promoting his new show, the anchor mentions an inquiry into swearing on television, and he slips up a few times. But it's when he gets asked whether he's had Botox that he gets fed up and walks away from the cameras.
Does he look like he's had Botox, Lisa?
Botox. Around.
He looks very healthy. I don't know which way he's going to take that. He's gone.
Number 5, Naomi Campbell. When ex-Liberian President Charles Taylor was brought to The Hague and tried for his war crimes, Naomi Campbell found herself in the middle of the proceedings when it came out that she had been given a blood diamond in 1997 by Taylor's representatives. Due to the sensitive nature of this subject and the ongoing trial at the time, when Campbell was asked about the diamond in 2010, she walked out of the interview, claiming she never received such a diamond.
You received a diamond from Charles.
I didn't receive a diamond, and I'm not going to speak about that. Thank you very much.
While she didn't initially cut and run, when the interview persisted with their difficult questions, Campbell got up and left, pushing a camera to the floor as she did. Number 4, Robert Downey Jr. It's no secret that legendary actor Robert Downey Jr. has had a dark past full of substance abuse issues, but he's since turned his life around and, most famously of all, launched the MCU with Iron Man. So it's not surprising that during an interview that was supposed to be promoting Age of Ultron, when Channel 4's Krishnan Guru Murthy started asking him about his past, he wasn't having any of it.
I don't know how comfortable you are, talking about yourself at the moment.
You have as much time as anyone else will.
In a now notorious segment, Downey pulled off his microphone and walked out.
Or whether that's still something.
I'm sorry, I really don't. What are we doing?
Well, I'm just asking questions, that's all.
Right. Bye.
Though Guru Murthy said afterwards that he didn't have an agenda and that Downey's PR had been warned about the topics, RDJ has been outspoken in his dislike of the interview.
You seem okay, it's just getting a little dinosaur in your...
No, look, I don't want to do that.
Number 3, Sarah, Duchess of York. In 2010, Fergie made the headlines again when a News of the World reporter tricked her into giving access to her ex-husband Prince Andrew for £500,000. A year later, she appeared on 60 Minutes Australia to talk about the Duke of York, which was branded a train wreck and one of the strangest interviews to ever air on TV.
But don't try and trick me now, because I'm not going to play this game. Delete that bit.
When confronted once again with old footage of the Cash for Access scandal, Fergie began telling the crew which segments of the interview she wanted to be cut out and rolled her eyes at Michael Usher's questions.
It woke me up.
How big a wake-up has it been?
What more can I say?
Eventually, she got sick of questions about the scandal and stormed off.
I'm going to take 5 minutes.
I'm sorry?
No, nothing. I'm just going to take 5 minutes.
Number 2, Cara Delevingne. Rule number 1 about interviewing someone is making sure you know what their name is. Unfortunately for these anchors, they appear to have missed the memo, calling Cara Carla right away.
Cara Delevingne is in the movie. She joins us live from New York City to talk about Paper Towns. Cara, good morning.
Hey.
Hi, how you doing?
And things get worse when rather than promoting Paper Towns, they decide to quiz her on her schedule and how busy she is. When they question why she doesn't seem more excited or enthused to be promoting the film, she's shocked. And things only get worse when they suggest she should go and take a nap.
You do seem a bit irritated. Perhaps it's just us.
No, I think it's just you.
I think it probably is us. Well, then on that note...
We figured as much.
We'll let you go then. How about that? We'll let you go take a little nap, maybe get a Red Bull. How about that?
And surprisingly, she decides to cut off the interview while they continue to criticize her.
She was in a mood.
Number 1, the Bee Gees. Veteran comedian Clive Anderson was in for a ride when the Bee Gees came on his show, who were apparently under the impression that it was going to be a serious interview.
Now, what was that? Because that's perhaps the most distinctive thing now, that high-pitched...
Oh, the falsetto.
That's it, yes, yeah. Were you working with Mickey Mouse at the time?
Though things got off to a good start with Anderson bringing up the jukebox musical of their songs that was in production at the time, they began to deteriorate when he started asking them about their solo careers and their brief breakup.
Before we became the Bee Gees, we were late tossers. Yes. Which we thought was... You'll always be late tossers to me, but I don't know. That's why we're here, and that's why you had us on the show.
Finally, they get sick of Anderson's questions, and Barry and Robin lead the charge in ditching the interview, with Maurice following last of all.
In fact, I might just leave. Yeah. Oh, I've never had anyone walk out before, but... well, we are a tosser, pal. So anyway, everybody...
Are these celebrity reactions justified, or are they throwing their toys out of the pram? Tell us your thoughts in those comments below.
Okay, that's the end of the interview.